This episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience best events in town, all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat. SeatGeek has it all, from exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We are here Monday, September 18th, and this is the week 2 edition of the Darion Hopkins Show. I am just your host, Darion of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and I got my co-host with me rocking his Ravens jersey. We got my boy Matt.
This is throwback. This is Jamal Lewis's jersey.
Jamal Lewis throwback, right? Absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. So we are here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We are live on all social medias: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube as well. And y'all know what it is, man. Make sure y'all go to SeatGeek.com and use that promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. Mac, how you feeling today, man?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great. We're 2-0. We're number one in the division right now.
Yeah, I could kind of say that for my Las Vegas Raiders. After we lost to Buffalo, we still in first place. But hey,
listen. Hey, what did I say last week? I said everybody, oh man, the Bengals gonna beat the Ravens, and it's like, no sir. Their offense doesn't even know who they are yet. Like, they need to get it together. I am ashamed for the Bengals fans. They should have ran that fucking ball with Mixon till the wheels fell off.
Agreed. Agreed.
I'm just telling you, like, that's exactly where they fucked up at. They stopped running the ball, and that gave them almost no chance because then what are we doing? We're in zone coverage. I hate the Ravens defense. Okay, because we play 80% of the snaps are zone coverage, bro. I hate zone coverage because if you're a really good quarterback, you can pick zone defense apart. And for a while, for a couple drives, Joe Burrow did. He picked us apart. But the defense also stepped up when they needed to.
Right.
But yeah, that offensive coordinator, bro, there's one thing that's being said today. Motherfucker, run that goddamn ball. And you didn't run the ball in the second half even half as many times as you did in the first.
Absolutely. It's a lot of storylines here when it comes to, NFL's week 2. It was a lot of great games, a lot of drama in these games when it comes to it. But let's talk about your, let's talk about, how you did in your parlay so far. How is that working out for you?
Bro, the Packers fucked me. The Packers
I'll tell you to stop underestimating the Atlanta Falcons, man. I try to tell you to stop underestimating the Atlanta Falcons because those Atlanta Falcons are really, really good. They're a really good football team. And I think they're 2-0 so far, correctly?
Listen, I'll say this. They're good for what they are. Absolutely. And they beat an inexperienced Love. They did. They beat him.
I mean, Desmond Ridder is just as inexperienced as Jordan Love, though.
Ridder had did he not start all last year? Last year was
he did start all last year. He actually took the job from Marcus Mariota in week 7 or week 8.
I mean, so he played a good chunk of the season, though. That's what I'm saying.
He played half a season last year because Marcus Mariota played.
Jordan Love, this is the first time Jordan Love's getting consecutive games like this.
Yeah, but people talked about the Green Bay Packers and how they still have that defense, and they have those wide receivers. They have Aaron Jones, which Aaron Jones didn't play yesterday, so that kind of played a big part in him not.
That was a huge part. That's why that's one of the main reasons why I called Green Bay to win, because I thought he was going to be playing.
Oh, you see, you should have looked at our league. I think I have Aaron Jones in our league, and he was out, and I ended up picking up AJ Dillon in that situation to see if he would give me the same.
Out of my team, so I don't get that alert. You know what I mean? Like I only get alerts for my guys. But
I don't know if you have the notifications off, bro, but it shows like you get the notification who a person dropped, who a person picked up, like all the transactions.
I get the notifications, but I mean most of that happens while I'm at work.
It will tell you like if the player's questionable or healthy too, though. It will tell you that too.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I didn't look it up. I wasn't checking. I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Like I
thought you probably thought you had some injured players on your team. I mean, I'm just saying,
I mean, I do on the Ravens. Hell yeah, bro. We got Rodney Stanley's down. Our center Tyler is down. Fucking Marlon Humphrey's out. Marcus Williams is out, and we still beat the fucking Bengals. That's what I'm saying. Like we're missing a bunch of key guys. Not like one or two guys. Like we're missing 5 key guys.
Right. So I just want to get a quick rundown of every game so far. So every game that's been played, we all know Thursday night, the Minnesota Vikings try to come back. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 34-28. Falcons won 25-24 over the Falcons won over the Packers 25-24. My Las Vegas Raiders lost 38-10. We got smoked. I'm not going to lie to you. My Raiders got smoked by the Buffalo Bills. They just wanted to come out and prove that they still a team in the AFC West. I mean AFC East. So, hey.
Yeah, I'm not
nothing about the Las Vegas Raiders at this point. I already know who the Las Vegas Raiders is. Simple as that.
So, I mean, but Josh Allen had to have a bounce back game. After shitting the bed last week, no.
That's why I'm not mad at him, because I knew he was going to have a bounce back game. I knew that for a fact.
Oh yeah, like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that definitely amped that whole team up, and all the media talking shit about them all week, right. Definitely pumped them motherfuckers up. They was juiced up.
Absolutely. 274 yards and 3 TDs, and James Cook had 17 carries for 123 yards. So they was dominating us. I can't even be mad at it. Listen, I don't have nothing to say because this is what the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are Raidering. Typical. It's nothing to argue about when it comes to that. Ravens win 27-24 over the Cincinnati Bengals. What a game that we had in Detroit with the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions, and the Seattle Seahawks coming up 37-31 with the game-winning touchdown by Tyler Lockett in overtime. Geno Smith, 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amon St. Brown for the Detroit Lions, 6 receptions for a 102 yards. We have that there. So the Chargers, we're going to get into the Los Angeles Chargers real quick, but we're going to get into them. But the Titans end up winning 27-24.
Fucking shout out to the Titans, bro. Shout out to the motherfucking
We're going to talk about the Chargers, man.
Like, bro, that 2 back-to-back like tough matches, and both times they coming out like right there, neck and neck.
Right.
It's beautiful that they can play up to their competition. I like the fact that they can. I'm definitely surprised because both weeks I was like, man, I thought they was going to lose.
Absolutely. So Bears lose again. They fall to 0-2, 27-17. Buccaneers get it over the Bears. Chiefs get the win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, a hot Jacksonville Jaguars with 17-9. A low scoring game for the Kansas City Chiefs, but hey, Patrick Mahomes still had 305 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So can't really be mad at that. The Indianapolis Colts get they win, and they lose Anthony Richardson due to concussion protocol, and they still win that game 31-20 over CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. The San Francisco 49ers does get the win over the Los Angeles Rams, which that was a pretty good game, 30-23. Matthew Stafford had 307 yards and 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, but Christian McCaffrey, 20 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. But this guy, I'm sorry to say, Puka Nacua, where did the Rams find this guy at? Because this man had 15 receptions, 147 yards for the Rams. And mind you, they don't have no Cooper Kupp. This guy has came onto the scene and showed that he could ball out in the NFL. So that was a very interesting game. But another interesting game, the Arizona Cardinals, like y'all was up 28-3 or 21-7 or something like that, and the Giants came back and won 31-28, scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter.
Listen,
I'm putting
that was a must-win game for New York. That was a must-win game for New York.
It was a must-win game for New York,
and for me, I'm super happy that offense looks like it is now starting to actually gel on the field. They were moving. The defense started to look decent. Again, this is nothing. This is nothing but a pick-me-up game. This isn't this wasn't great competition. It shouldn't have been. The fact that you fell behind and forced yourself to make a great comeback is horrible, but the fact that the offense is finally moving down the field, you starting to look like a goddamn team.
Right.
There's high hopes for New York.
Absolutely.
High hopes. I have high hopes. I'd like to see him get close to a playoff berth.
And just to let y'all know, as far as I was going to talk about it as a topic, but I was just want to throw it out there. Saquon Barkley is going to be out to 2 to 3 weeks with the high ankle sprain. So his X-rays came back negative. He went to go get an MRI. He has nothing tear. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. But I'm not too big on that, because at the end of the day, I think Daniel Jones could get the job done. But I know Saquon is a talent that you want on your football field to help you win. I just don't want him rushing back from a high ankle sprain. I just don't want him rushing back from that. So he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks due to a high ankle sprain. The Jets lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys improved to 2-0, 30-10. Dak Prescott, 255 yards, 2 TDs, 25 carries for 72 yards. CD Lamb, 11 receptions for 143 yards. So, the Jets didn't play that bad. I mean, they did score. Garrett Wilson did have a touchdown, but that's a question we should ask. Should they have a quarterback? Should they find a new quarterback in New York right now, since Aaron Rodgers is done for the year with the Achilles tear? Do you hear me, Mac? Do you think they should stay with Zach Wilson? Is the question?
Would I? No.
Okay, so if you're a Jets fan, so if you were a Jets fan,
you know what? I'll address it. I'm gonna go get Gardner Minshew.
Isn't he on the Colts though?
Okay, it's called go get somebody. You like, I mean, look, bro. If I'm gonna try to give this team the best chance to win, I want a gamer. I want a fucking gamer.
So that means so you want the Jets to make a trade to go get Gardner Minshew?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. You know, it depends if they just want to give up draft picks for him, but they do need to go get a quarterback. I don't know if Zach Wilson is the answer, especially with the all high expectations you had going in to this season.
The rookie from the Rams, Stanton. He played with Georgia last year.
Was Stinson Bennett? He's on IR right now.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he's on IR. So
I'm just sitting here thinking of a guy who can make plays and who can manage a game.
It's not too many out there that's available as far as at the quarterback position. But if you want to go get a guy, you would trade for Gardner Minshew if you want a quarterback to win for you right now that can make plays.
Listen. But as far as the Cowboys are concerned, right? If the Cowboys beat the 49ers, then they're for real. But on October 8th, Sunday Night Football, if they don't beat the 49ers, I'm more
frauds.
Because I mean, let's face it. Look, they went from the Cowboys, from the Giants to the Jets to the Cardinals. Patriots might be a little thunder, but Patriots also haven't got their shit together yet this season.
Right.
So
agreed.
The 49ers is that challenge. And then they have the Chargers, and then the Rams, and then the Eagles.
Well, let's see what the Chargers look like at the end of the season. I mean, that's another thing we need to talk about them too.
I mean, the Chargers are gonna shit the bed, bro. They already look like shit. It's like, dude, they play 2 quarters out of the game, amazing. Those other 2 quarters, it's fucking up in the air.
So in a crucial call between the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos, the Commanders end up getting a win, scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter to win that game 35-33. It was a very crucial call for the 2-point conversion. They did not call a pass interference in the end zone, and the Commanders end up getting that win. So, I mean, NFL NFL officiating is looking at that play again to see did the refs miss a call. So basically, that's what the Broncos feel like they got screwed out of that game. But if you look at that scoring, I mean, if you look at Washington Commanders, they only scored 3 in the first quarter, 11 in the second, 7 in the third, and 14 in the fourth quarter. And the Broncos had 14 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, 3 in the third quarter, and 9 in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, you know, Russell Wilson 308 yards, 3 TDs, and an interception.
Oh, I don't want to hear no excuses. Just like motherfucker tried to sit there and say he didn't want to hear no excuses from the coach before. I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. If you would have got it done in the first quarter, if you would have scored twice in the first quarter, we wouldn't even be talking about this. We wouldn't you wouldn't have been in that situation. There was at least 10 plays throughout that game that if they would have been different, it could have changed the outcome of the game, but it wasn't.
Agreed.
Now, could it have been called? Absolutely. But you understand how many times I watched motherfucking Orlando Brown Jr. face mask, hand plant, face mask at least 10 goddamn times yesterday, and ain't not one of them motherfuckers get called. Okay? Literally, I had fingers in the mask of Jadeveon Clowney. No call. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing. Bro, they got a touchdown. The Bengals got a touchdown. That first touchdown that they got, right? It was blocking in the back. Literally, the guy caught it. He's probably like a good 20 yards back. Guy goes, wham, levels him right on his back. Guy throws the flag. They get together. They huddle. Oh, no flag. Right? They show the replay. They only zoom in on the runner. They don't zoom in on none of the blocks. The block that was supposedly happening. They picked it up, right? Very same fucking thing happens. Bam. Ravens do similar. It was more right at his side. Right. It wasn't even on his full back. It was on his side. You know what I'm saying? Bam. Blocking in the back. They hit us with that penalty. I was like, see, that's that bullshit. But it is. It's like as far as our wide receivers, I watched Flowers get held at least 3 times and only got 1 call. So it's like, bro, I don't know. I don't know. To me, you take the officials all on the field out of the game.
Right.
They can still throw a flag, but it is not under their review. As soon as a flag gets thrown, the whole play gets rewounded. The call comes from upstairs in the box.
So 49ers faithful asked us, what do you think about the Niners and Rams game? Now, I thought the Niners and Rams, I mean, the 49ers are the 49ers. Let's just keep it how it is. I mean, even though the 49ers did give up 23 points, but I still think they are a solid defense, if you want to be completely honest with you. I mean, Brock Purdy was, 17 to 25, 206 yards, even though Matthew Stafford threw the ball 55 times, crazy. And he only got sacked 1 time, even though he did throw the ball 55 times. I think that's insane. You got Kyron Williams, the running back for the Rams with 14 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, I think that boy is a dog. I think when he's healthy, he's the best running back in the game when healthy. Deebo Samuel, 5 carries for 38 yards. Deebo Samuel, 6 receptions, 63 yards. So he does run and catch the ball as well. But overall, it was a good game. It was an AFC West battle. It was back and forth. If you look at the box score overall, it was 7-3 in the first quarter, and then the 49ers scored 10, and then they scored 3, and then they scored another 10 in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it was a good game back and forth. That's what made the Rams lose this game, when they did not score any points in that third quarter at the end of the day. But I don't know if Mac watched the game, but I kind of watched it through NFL Red Zone. But what was your thoughts on that game?
I mean, I knew it was going to be a good game. It was going to be back and forth, and it was really up to the defense. Which defense can get more stops?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the 49ers are a juggernaut this year. If if you play the 49ers this year and you think you can get it to the playoffs and you think you can win in the playoffs, if you don't beat the 49ers, good luck. Good luck. If you can beat the 49ers, you got a fucking team.
Especially if Brock Purdy is 100% through the whole year. That's the thing about the 49ers. Brock Purdy don't have to throw 40 to 50 times a game. He has weapons around where he could throw at least 25 to 30 times and give the ball 20 to 25 times to CMC and be good.
If he throws that ball more than 38 times a game, they lose. I guarantee you this.
Agreed.
I guarantee you this.
Agreed.
If he has to throw the ball that fucking much, that means they're losing.
I say 25 to 30. I think 30 should be the most that he throws, but 35 or less.
I mean, I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna be realistic because you could have it where it's you get like 5 or 6 short dump off play action. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can see, especially Kyle Shanahan's offense where it's dink and dunk, where he can. But that's what I'm saying. Once you go past 38 attempts, that's when you're throwing the ball a lot.
Right. But let's get into a few topics here. What's going on, Mo Green? What's going on, brother? And I had to bring this topic up because this is how I feel. And I know your Ravens, in much respect to your Ravens, getting the dub, especially a division win. But I gotta ask it. Is Joe Burrow getting treated like Andrew Luck? And I'm going to say why. That he is getting treated like Andrew Luck. Because even though that you so-called address this offensive line, Zach Taylor, whoever your offensive line coach is, ain't protecting shit of Joe Burrow. They're not protecting nothing. Ever since he came into this league, you're supposed to evolve his offensive line to protect him. In the first couple of years that he has come into for the Cincinnati Bengals, this man does not have an offensive line. He's running for his life 99% of the time. So, as an offensive coordinator and an offensive line coach, what do you do to protect Joe Burrow? You run the fucking football. Like you said earlier, Mac, you run the football with Joe Mixon. That is what he's an underrated top 10 running back in this league. Very underrated. Nobody talks about Joe Mixon. Nobody talks about it. And then you got Joe Burrow throwing these short and intermediate routes, knowing that's not your style of football. You can't be mobile with a bad calf. So what your offensive line is doing is you're trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly. And then when you do give a 5 to 7 step drop back, oh, he gets sacked because his offensive line is just letting anybody through. And you got rid of Linnell Collins. You got rid of him because he can't stay healthy. So the Bengals going 0-2 right now is their offensive line and Joe Burrow not being 100%. But we saw this last year too with it. But I feel like personally that Joe Burrow is getting treated like Andrew Luck because Andrew Luck did not have an offensive line in Indianapolis. Just my opinion.
See, I have to beg to differ because they got two of the better tackles. Their left tackle is Orlando Brown. He is easily at least top 15 in this category, right? On the other side, they got another. His name is it Taylor? I don't know. Is the right tackle? I know he was a first round fucking pick. I know Billy. What's his name? Billy Price. He's their center. He's what was he? A second round pick? Like, dude, they have a decent offensive line. Like yesterday. Come on, what did they give up? 2 sacks? 2 sacks on the day? Like, bro, that's not that bad. Especially
it's not that bad, but
almost every third down.
But
bro, we had to blitz 8 guys. We blitzed 8 guys to get the first sack. 8.
I get that. I get that against the Baltimore Ravens. I get that, but I'm saying as far as career go, if you look at Joe Burrow's career, the last couple of years, he's been the most quarterback sacked. Even though they make the playoffs, even though they get to the AFC Championship, he's one of the most quarterbacks that get sacked in a regular season going into the playoffs.
Listen, so you know what? So you know what he needs to do? He needs to have a powwow, a lunch out, go buy them motherfuckers a bunch of tomahawk steaks, let them eat, get them motherfuckers. Like, I mean, bro, I don't know what you have to do, but I know for me, when I played football and I was an offensive lineman, our quarterback loved us. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little things, how you show appreciation to your guys. My quarterback running for a touchdown, he's not spiking the ball. He's handing the ball to one of us offensive linemen. Spike that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your energy at?
Right. And 49ers.
No, I'm telling you here right now, Bengals ain't gonna do it. You want to know why? Because the Bengals defense ain't good enough. That's really what's gonna slow them down. And they lost one of their top safeties. That they did so. No, I'm telling you right here. You heard it first. Like, bro, if this offense don't start putting up 40 plus points a fucking game, ain't no goddamn way that they're gonna be able to hold. Their defense ain't gonna be able to hold. Like, honestly, the Ravens could have won by fucking another 7 fucking points.
Right.
We ran out the last 3 minutes of the clock.
So Mac is a Ravens fan, by the way. 49ers fan. Hopefully Burrow doesn't retire early in his career like Luck. But you know what? I don't blame Andrew Luck for retiring. I really don't. The man was getting his ass kicked every week. He was getting when you get your ass kicked every week from your offensive line and you put your all on the line and nothing comes back in return, you lose love for the game that way. You do. 49 favorites say, do you guys think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs again after a rough start of starting 0-2 last season? This is my thing with that. It's already going to be tough for them. Nobody has not done it in a long time to lose 2 division games and make the playoffs. That is going to be a very uphill battle for the Cincinnati Bengals to make the playoffs because you lost to the Browns last week, which was a division game. You lost to the Ravens, a division game. So now you're kind of like in the hole trying to get into the playoffs. It's really tough for me. It's really tough for me. It depends on who they win in the out of conference as well.
Here's the thing, right? Say they lose to the Ravens again, they lose to the Browns again.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It don't matter if all 3 of us have the same record at the end of the year. Guess who won't be going to the playoffs?
Cincinnati.
There you go. That's what I'm saying already. If they lose to the Browns, then what happens even if they have the best record?
Right. Yeah.
But guess what? The Browns got 2 wins over them. Browns are going to the fucking playoffs.
If the Browns make the playoffs, hey,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it is a super battle
if they do. So Jamar Chase hasn't been playing that good the past 2 weeks either. I think the whole team as a whole
for the Cincinnati Bengals has not played well across the board. I don't think it's just the offensive side of the ball. It's just across the board that Cincinnati just has not been playing well. Simple as that. Simple is that. Cincinnati, who they play next week, I can find out for you. And they play the Bengals.
See, that might be another loss because
they playing the Rams next week on Monday Night Football. They play the Monday Night Football.
And they play the Titans. That's two more tough ass games.
They could be 0-4 after 4 weeks. They could really be 0-4 after 4 weeks if they don't get their shit together.
Here's another one. Okay, October 29th. Mark it down on your calendars at 4:25. The Bengals versus the 49ers. If the Bengals can beat the 49ers, then they can be taken seriously. But that's honestly the next big team that they're going to play. They're going to play Seattle. They're going to play Seattle the week before that.
Okay.
Like it's going to be the Rams, the Titans, the Cardinals, then Seahawks, 49ers, Bills. Woo! Those are going to be 3 tough games.
Now, I don't think if the Bengals miss the playoffs, Zach Taylor should be on the hot seat. I don't think he should be. Because, I mean, look what Zach Taylor was able to do with this organization from the rip. Let's just keep it real. This man took over a 1-15, 1-16, or whatever it was team. I don't think Zach Taylor should be on. I don't think he should be on. I'm not too sure about that. But let's get into the next topic here. What the hell is wrong with the LA Chokers, aka the LA Chargers? Because the last 2 weeks, if we saw this team last week, and the Chargers, who they play, I think they play us. Yeah, they play us. Not this week, but the following. They got to go to Minnesota.
In week 3. They've been bolting.
They've been bolting. So they lose to the Titans 27-24. Kellen Moore is the new offensive coordinator. Justin Herbert got paid a big chunk of money, and it's time. It's time for Brandon Staley to go. At this point,
not even
time for him to go.
Not even on top of that. Like, what the fuck is going on with this defense? Like, bro, this should be easily top 15 to top 10 to top 15 defense. Like, bro, there's no reason.
Joey Bosa
they should not be giving up more than 21 points a game. Like, this don't make no sense, bro.
You have Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, JC Jackson. How are you guys is not winning football games with this defense? I'm confused because offensively they can put the numbers up, but this defense gives up a lot.
Listen, Chargers organization, you need a defensive coordinator. Call your boy. I promise you, a motherfucker won't score no 21 points on my motherfucking defense. Like, the fuck out of here. You got Derwin James in the motherfucking back end. You got Bosa in the motherfucking on your front edge. You got a couple other guys. Shit. There's no reason. That is a stout defense.
Right. That is a stout defense. And looking at it on total yards on this game against the Tennessee Titans, the total yards was not even that much. That total margin was kind of like identical, 342 to 341. But Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 80 yards. He didn't get over 100 yards rushing in this game. But you had Ryan Tannehill, 20 of 24, 246 and a touchdown. So even with the individual stats, and Keenan Allen was balling, 8 receptions for 111 yards and two touchdowns. So I'm like kind of confused on what the hell is the Chargers doing to keep losing games? How are they fucking up? I don't even like to curse sometimes, but how are they fucking up this game? How? In what way?
Bro, I don't get it, man.
Like the Chargers, like, I just don't understand them, and I cannot wait to play them because I call them the chokers when we play them in both weeks. I call them the chokers because Brandon Staley said this in the press conference yesterday, stating that this is not a hangover from that 27-0 blowout against Jacksonville. I think it is. Because if you look at the first 2 games for the Los Angeles Chargers, they had a big lead in that first half. And then they come back and then the other team comes back in the second half. And look what happens. Oh, okay. We lose both games because of the second half points. So Kellen Moore get complacent and he throws the ball a little bit too much. I understand Austin Eckler did not play, but you got to get the ball to Joshua Kelly there too. So if I am the Chargers, y'all got to figure it out because Kellen Moore is not the answer and Brandon Staley's not the answer either. And then if you want to go hire my boy Mac, make sure you go hire him for a defensive coordinator. He know what the hell he fucking doing. And then if you want to hire me for an offensive coordinator, hire me for an offensive coordinator because I know what the hell I'm doing. Situational football, you don't throw the ball 3 times, but you have a running back that's like a bowling ball on feet. Protect the football. Run the clock.
Bro, listen to me. I'm just telling you this, right? Baltimore's first possession, right, on Sunday's game,
right,
7 minutes and 48 seconds.
And
that is slow, methodical offense. That's what you need in the NFL today. You need to eat up clock and you need to score touchdowns. As long as you're doing those 2 things, you are bound to win. You win time of possession. What is it? 90% of the time you win the game?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just want to get to the comments here real quick. It said the Chargers called a super team and they picked to win the Super Bowl. Now they call the chokers. I call them the chokers every year. Because they had this high expectations on them and they seem to fail. Darion, go for it. What's going on, Hefe? He says Chiefs. 49 Faithful says, what do you guys think about the Tennessee Titans?
Man,
I'm telling you.
The Chiefs need to tighten it the fuck up and figure out what the fuck they're going to do this year. Because, bro, just barely skiing it out against the motherfucking Jaguars.
And I'm like, I'll be completely honest. I feel like right now for the Kansas City Chiefs is they're missing Eric Bieniemy offensively. People can say what they want, like, oh, it was Andy Reid calling the plays, but Andy Reid calling the plays, he could call the plays all he want for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it does not look the same as last year. It just doesn't. It don't look the same. Like the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs scored 19 points, and the Washington Commanders scored 33. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs was scoring 28 to 30 points per game last year under Eric Bieniemy, and now you see those numbers look different because Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator now.
Listen. Who's the head coach for the Bears?
I don't even know his name.
Bro, all I'm saying is, listen, he gonna get fired for the end of the season. Justin Fields, like the fact that that whole fucking debacle is hot trash.
Yeah, it's far.
I'm like, bro, it is so pissing me off because it's like, I don't know if it's Justin Fields or it's just 100% the fucking coach or a mixture of both. But for me, I feel like it's got to be the fucking coach. How the fuck do you have a Justin Fields and not put him in the right predicament? And then, no offense, he fucks some shit up on his own. He makes bad decisions. He makes bad reads. He doesn't fucking protect the ball. He doesn't yes, there's a laundry list of shit on him too. But the whole thing is like, come on, man. You've had a whole off season to devise plays that can put you in situations to gain yardage, to get touchdowns and win football games. And to see this hot mess come out here like this looks fucking horrible.
Absolutely
horrible.
I'm really kind of shocked that they're 0-2 at this moment. But the Tennessee Titans, going back to the 49ers Faithful's question, I think the Tennessee Titans are a good football team. They're an underrated football team, and if they win the AFC South, which I think I picked Jacksonville to win the AFC South. If they could come out the AFC South, I'm gonna be like, I underestimated the Tennessee Titans. If they defense can play well and run the football with Derrick Henry and their young boy Treylon Burks, I think they'll be fine in the way the AFC South is set up. So I like the Tennessee Titans. They all right. They not no scrubs. They're just not winning them teams. They're not winning them flashy teams, but they get the game done. They get the job done.
They play up to their competition.
Right.
Okay. So the thing that the Bears, right? I'd like to see like Brian Flores go and be a coach there. That's the type of head coach I think that they need. Like what he was doing in Miami before they fucked him over and fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I feel like that is the type of culture, that's the type of person that they need. They need a hard-nosed defensive guy to build through that fucking team.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I do have your parlay for tonight's game, 2 tonight games for Monday Night Football. I will be doing the Saints and Panthers at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time, so make sure y'all tune into that because I don't want to do Browns and Steelers because I know that game's going to be late.
That's the game that I'm watching, baby.
I mean, that's the game you're watching. As a Raiders fan, I want to see Derek Carr. I want to see Derek Carr live. You know what I'm saying?
I see it being like 6-13, 6-20.
Of course,
not 9-21.
That makes sense.
Like, oh man, this is going to be a running.
Derek Carr live, man. I do
100%.
Raiders fans might not like me for that, but I would like to see Derek Carr live on a Monday night under a different jersey and going up against Carolina and Bryce Young and them boys. So
listen.
Yeah, I want.
If you don't fucking win,
Carr,
I swear to motherfucking God, if he don't win this goddamn game, he like don't get me wrong, the Panthers got a decent defense, but come on, bro. This should be easy. You can get 3 touchdowns, and the Saints defense damn sure should be good enough not to give up 3 touchdowns, especially not for this rookie. So I listen. I expect much more out of the Saints defense than I do the offense, but at the same time, you got to show up to play. Like this is Monday Night Football.
But let's get into tonight's games for this parlay. If y'all see this right here, if Mac want to talk about it and break it down for
this
is my for this lineup. If y'all want to do a same game parlay, make sure y'all go to Mac's Spicy Picks, and he does it every week too on his channel. So I might have that. I
put the lock picks in this week. Put the lock picks. Probably Thursday night. I'm like Thursday sometime during the day. I'll upload another video and I'll post my spicy picks for the week.
Okay. So, if y'all see this right here, for the same game.
This is my spicy.
Huh?
This is my spicy pick. This is my spicy pick for the game.
All right, so break it down and let the people know if they are betting, and I let the people know why you made these picks here.
Oh, I mean, this was straight. I mean, this is good money right here. I mean, like I said, this is playing a good game back and forth. This is what I imagine the game being. Like you said, I think both are going to have around 200 yards. I think Nick Chubb and Najee Harris both get a rushing touchdown. George Pickens definitely going to get 25 yards. Yeah. So I have it both. I have the alternate receiving yards. I have it 2 times on here, I think. But regardless,
you got George Pickens on the other one.
I got Pickett with at least 1 touchdown, possibly 2. Then we got Elijah Moore, 25 yards. People Jones, 25 yards. Njoku, 25 yards. Nick Chubb, 60 yards. Najee Harris, 50 yards. Elijah Moore, 25 receiving yards. I got Njoku again, 25. People Jones, 25.
You didn't pick nothing for this.
I see what it is. I see what it is here. This is all the same. It's the same. It's just putting the last 3 picks on that. So It's Kenny Pickett 1+ touchdowns, Watson 1+ touchdown, and then we're good to go. So Kenny Pickett should have 1 touchdown. Sean Watson.
You ain't putting nothing up for that.
And then you said what?
I'm surprised you ain't do nothing for Panthers and Saints game.
I don't have a dog in that race. I'm just gonna be honest.
With Jamal Williams getting a couple touchdowns there, he's the starting running back till Kamara comes back. He's got a Chris Olave that could get you some yardage there.
Absolutely, but I mean, for me, I just like I said, I'm watching this game, so that's why I mean, like this is the Monday Night Football game I'm waiting for.
Now you see that dollar wager, y'all. Y'all see that dollar wager could get
you. Yeah. You see that? It's $1. It's $1 for $257.07. So You know what I'm saying? You could run a parlay like this and put $5 or $10 on it, and you got a great chance of hitting.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, all of this shit is completely obtainable. Completely obtainable.
Right.
There's nothing outlandish here. It's spicy because there's a lot of fucking picks, so you need a lot of things to come to hit. But this is my pick. I do think the Browns pull this one out. Like I said, I think it's going to be on the lower scoring end, but I think the Browns pull this out. Now, don't get it twisted because the Steelers are definitely. This is a must-win for the Steelers. This is an in-division game, and they've got two losses already on the record. Like this is a must-win for these guys. It's an in-division game, so
they go to Las Vegas next week for our home opener.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if the Steelers win, whoo, that's juice. That is juice. If the Steelers lose, man, they might be vulnerable enough for you guys to take over.
Right.
And it's still going to be a hard win. You guys are still going to have to play good to beat them. So
I definitely need them going into Allegiant Stadium vulnerable and having questions going into that game because I think we're going to have Devontae and Jacoby Myers back in week 3. I think we're going to have him. Week 3 we're going to have him back. So it's going to be, and it's a Sunday night football game, by the way. So that's going to be it's going to be on prime time. So that's going to be very, very interesting there. But this is the spicy picks, y'all. These are the spicy picks for tonight's game between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So make sure y'all screenshot it, y'all listen to it, do whatever y'all need to do, and get y'all money, ladies and gentlemen. Go get that $257 $7 there. So that's basically what that is there. Now I want to talk about another team that's in the NFC South. And we talked about a little bit more, and that is the Atlanta Falcons. They are 2-0. They're right up there in the division with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and, of course, the Saints. Are the Falcons for real? That's one of my questions because Bijan Robinson in the first 2 games has been very, very good. He's been very good. And the first 2 games for Bijan Robinson, he's been the catalyst of this offense. Even though Desmond Ridder is a good quarterback, I'm not taking nothing away from Desmond Ridder. And, they got Drake London over there. They got Kyle Pitts, the tight end. So if you're looking at it and looking at the box score for the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Hold on. I'm listening to this schedule. This is their schedule.
Okay.
The Lions is who they play next.
Okay, that's
a tough game. Okay. Jaguars. Okay.
Good game.
Then we got the Texans. Should be an easier game.
Yeah.
Commanders, tough game. Right? Then we got the Buccaneers. That's going to be the interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the Titans, the Vikings, right? And then it goes Cardinals, Saints, Jets, Buccaneers, Panthers, Colts, Bears, Saints. I'm sorry. This sounds like a cake schedule.
Yes.
Compared to a lot of other people's
division, outside of a few games in their division, I think the only tough games they have is Jacksonville. You said I've seen the Jets was a tough game when they did have Aaron Rodgers, but that changes everything. So you said the Buccaneers is going to be a tough game. You said Jacksonville, Detroit. What was the other one?
Titans.
That's 4 games. And then you got to think about their division. They got to play the Saints again. They got to play Carolina again. The Falcons might sneak into the playoffs. They might.
The last 4 games of the year goes Panthers, Colts, Bears, Saints. Like
out of those 4 games, the toughest team is going to be the Saints. That's going to be the toughest team. So they could go 3-1 in that 4-game stretch. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. They could go 3-1 on most of these stretches. And dude, they might come out the season with 11 fucking wins.
If they do, that means they might be winning the division even over the New Orleans Saints. It really depends on how this defense is for New Orleans and how Derek Carr plays up the part as a quarterback. So it's really depending on him at that point. But I still like the Atlanta Falcons. I think they beefed up their defense really, really well. And mind you, they don't play no Dallas Cowboys, or they don't play no San Francisco 49ers, or even no Philadelphia Eagles at that point. So if you look at their schedule, it's possible that the Atlanta Falcons can actually win probably 10 to 11 games and sneak underneath in the playoffs because nobody's really paying attention at that division. Listen, the three teams in that division is going to be competing: Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons. Carolina still has some ways to go. I do like their defense, like you said as well, but I think the Falcons is going to be a great team this year. I think they found their identity and they found what they need to do. They got their first round picks. They got their first round pick of Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. They growing something over there.
Now, I think absolutely they can 100% get like they can get to the playoffs. My problem is going to be the fact that they've only going to play 3 or 4 real good teams.
Right.
They're not experiencing any great teams. They're not going up against any of the great teams this year. And I think that might be the downfall when they make it to the playoffs, is seeing the caliber of team that they're not used to playing.
Which is true. But to get that playoff experience, because sometimes when new teams get into the playoffs and they have not been to the playoffs in a long time, that inexperience does come in. But it does roll over into the next season. Like, okay, we know what we got to do to get back into the playoffs.
Exactly. Oh no, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The next couple of years,
good.
That roster.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to be sneaky good this year. They're going to be sneaky good. Now the problem is, like, who gets matched up against them? Because now if they get matched up against a team where they'll have an advantage over, then there you go. Because from what we see, they have a pretty well complete good team.
Yeah. And Arthur Smith, the former offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, is doing really well over there for the Atlanta Falcons. I think right now, even though they are 2-0 right now, I think this team is really solid. They went out and got Jesse Bates.
Card to the Super Bowl?
Here go. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at the NFC, it's not really too many good teams in the NFC. So I can understand why he says that, but I'm not picking them to come out of the NFC. I'm just not doing that. But I can see why he says that though, because it's not too many. I think you only name like 4 or 5 teams out of the NFC that's actually good. So, but my thing is this though, and Ja Raider, you might not like this, but I would not be surprised if Carr go to the playoffs and the Raiders don't. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Y'all heard it here first.
But you're talking about a team that already had a pretty solid defense,
and which Carr never had in his whole career with the Raiders.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
I mean, I'm just being honest because I'm gonna address this because a lot of people on the Raiders Twitter is like about this whole situation now. I'm at a point where no matter what quarterback we get, if that defense can't stop a cold, they can't stop coronavirus, they can't stop swine flu, they can't stop nothing. The quarterback don't goddamn matter if you can't stop nothing defensively. I mean, the Bills have 450 total yards on this defense yesterday against the Bills. 450 total yards against my defense. Sorry. We're not winning football games like that. I don't care if you got Tom Brady. Tom Brady had defenses everywhere he went. Let's keep it real. So, doesn't matter who the quarterback is if you can't play defense. I don't care. And I don't like to say this either. I don't care if you have Lamar Jackson on Las Vegas.
Look at the comments. Look at the comments. Them guys going off.
Hefe and 49er Faithful. Listen, the 49ers want their rematch with KC. They want their rematch. They want their rematch in the Super Bowl. They want that. Didn't Patrick went to the Super Bowl with a 31 ranked defense? What 31 ranked defense was that? I don't think he was the defensive coordinator when the Giants went to the Super Bowl. I don't think he was that. Was it Steve Spagnuolo at the time? I thought it was Steve Spagnuolo and not Patrick Graham, but I digress. Yeah. But
Spagnuolo was the
he was the defensive coordinator. I thought he was. But I want to get into a quick one game of college football, and that's Colorado and Colorado State. I don't know if you saw this game Saturday night.
My man, you talk that shit. Talk that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shake my hand. Listen, Deion had the sideline looking like a goddamn BET Awards. The Rock was there. Lil Wayne had a jersey. He's just changing the culture in Colorado. But Colorado State, I'm going to say this about them. Oh, they wasn't afraid. They wasn't afraid of Colorado. They didn't care what they were doing. They was going to come out there and play their brand of football, but their brand of football was kind of dirty in some ways too. So a lot of dirty plays happened in that game, but it went into 2 overtimes. I'm not going to even lie. I was so tired. I was watching the game and I fell asleep. That's how long that game was, because once it got to like 12 o'clock, I got sleepy. But that game went into 2 a.m. But I have to say to Colorado, they're putting college football on notice. That's one thing I can say. They're putting college football on notice. Shedeur Sanders, almost 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Travis Hunter did get hurt, but Shedeur Sanders looked phenomenal. Xavier Weaver, that wide receiver, is a dog for Colorado. He's a dog. So Deion getting the job done. It doesn't matter how you win. It matters how you win. But people say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that's exactly what Deion and that football team did. They finished the game. It was a great football game. I think it could go down to, one of the greatest college football games coming out of Colorado. It was a rivalry game against Colorado State. But congratulations to Colorado State, because y'all didn't back down either. It would have been a team that played Colorado that was not ready for that limelight at that time and say, hey, we just going to fall down. No. They played. They were smacking Colorado in the mouth. They sure was, but Colorado remains undefeated. And that's just what it is. So 49 favorites say the Chiefs are so overrated this season. They're going to lose in the divisional round. John Rader said, question, what's your thoughts about 28-3 Cardinals versus the Giants? This was typical. This was typical of the Arizona Cardinals to lose that lead. They started out really hot. They started out really good. And the Giants just made adjustments in that second half, and it just flipped the script. And when the Giants fans are louder than the Cardinals fans in your home field, that is a problem. How do you have the Giants fans in Arizona in so many drives that the Arizona Cardinals have false starts? That goes crazy to me. How does the visiting fans is affecting your home offensive line of that? So, I mean,
imagine telling a bunch of guys from New York, hey, you can go see New York Giants for the same price in Arizona that you do in New York City with the cost of plane ticket. What? You're telling me for $1,000 I can fly to I can fly to Arizona, watch the game, and fly back home. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Listen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it at the end of the day. So for me, I'm all for it. I think the Giants, they needed that win. They needed that win really bad. They couldn't afford to go 0-2 in this NFC East, especially with the divisional games that they have coming up. So you don't want to miss that. Colorado coach choked us. Wow. LOL 49ers. This is Mahomes' best defense. It's nasty, and it comes back to be deadly. Okay. You probably a bandwagon Chiefs fan. Hefe is not a bandwagon Chiefs fan. As long as I've known Hefe since 2016 being on here, he is definitely not a bandwagon Chiefs fan. I can say that. I don't know anything before 2016, but I'm just saying, since I've known him being on my channel, I have not seen him, bandwagon at all. Props to Deion Sanders. He has sold 4.5 million in sunglasses. You know what? I'm not surprised at that. It's Deion Sanders. He's a brand. He is a brand in himself. I mean, it doesn't matter if he wasn't coaching and wearing them glasses. He still will probably get $4.5 million off of it just because it's Deion. It's prime time. He has one of the best personal brands probably in the United States. He could go anywhere and be like, oh, Deion Sanders, oh, you're going to make money in that city when Deion Sanders pull up into a city. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The Cardinals is tanking for Caleb Williams. Let me be honest with y'all about this. Caleb Williams is not coming out if the Cardinals are the number 1 overall pick. He's not coming out. He's not coming out. I just don't think Jonathan Gannon, the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals, is not the guy there. He's not the guy in Arizona. Kyler Murray, we don't know what's going on with that knee injury, when he's going to come back, or is he ever going to come back? I mean, he got to play under that contract, but there's a lot of questions around Kyler Murray. There's a lot of questions around that team in general. So I don't see Caleb Williams coming out. I think he'll probably play one more year at USC, win another Heisman, or try to get a national championship before he goes to the NFL. That's just how I see it. 30 years, been into games with 6 inches of snow. Hefe, how old is you, bro? Hefe, I thought you was like a young kid or something. Like you said 30 years. I feel old. Wait a minute. I feel old there. Caleb Williams returned back to college. He won't go to the Cardinals. Brock Purdy will get exposed. Fact. We just talked about this earlier on the show too. We talked about it where
I'm just saying, Purdy, if I was a quarterback, right, I want to be drafted number 1 overall. I don't give a fuck what team it is. Number 1. So I know I am the highest paid motherfucker coming out of this goddamn draft.
But don't you want to be the highest paid and win? Like, I mean, let's be real. Like you want to, just to be sure, the Arizona Cardinals are a dysfunctional franchise. As far as the organization go, I don't want to go into a toxic organization and be the highest paid player. I want to go to an organization where I know we're trying to move forward and grow as a franchise. The Cardinals ain't looking to grow. They just not. But I mean, if you want to go get your money, it'd be like, oh, F the team, go get your money.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, imagine being like, you know what? I'm going to change the culture. I'm going to do this. I'm the starting quarterback. I'm the superstar. Let's do this.
Facts. Facts. So are we going to do Niners and Giants game? Let's see what time that game is, because my Raiders don't play until Sunday Night Football. So I could, if that game is a 1:00 game, I'm definitely doing it. If it's not a 1:00 game, I am not doing it, because I'm not doing back-to-back NFL games on a Sunday. It got to be separated in between. I got to have a break in between. That's just me. Because I'm not going to be sitting here all day doing these games. So Giants. Oh, actually, y'all play, let me see, week 3. Let's look at it. 49ers, Giants. That looked like a 4:00 game. Yeah, it looks like a 4:00 game, unfortunately. Oh, no, actually, it's Thursday night. Yeah, I'll do it. It's Thursday night. I'm doing it. So you'll definitely see me do that game Thursday night. I do all the primetime games on here. What's going on, Ron? Ron, what's going on? What if the Broncos get Caleb Williams? Mac, what are your thoughts on that? That's a good question. What if he falls to the Denver Broncos here?
Low-key, I fucking hate the Broncos. They don't deserve it.
Yo, you sound like a Raiders fan knowing that you hate the Broncos.
No, dude. I hate the fucking Broncos, right? Because they made it an option for the Colts not to get Elway. Because if Elway comes to Baltimore, like he was supposed to, Colts never leave Baltimore.
Elway
was the main reason why.
Where are you going with this, man? Like, where are you going with this?
So, just like I hate the Colts, I hate the Broncos too.
Hey, I love the fact that you hate the Broncos, because I hate them as a Raiders fan. I hate them. And I want to throw this out there real quick. I know it's college football, but I got to address my team, and that's the Tennessee Volunteers. I have to address them. Tennessee, you had a chance to break a record in Gainesville, Florida on Saturday night. We have not won a game in that stadium in the swamp since 2003. We go into Gainesville and we strike first. Oh, yeah, we strike first. And everything just flips. Offensive line. Terrible offensive line. Joe Milton, you got to learn how to manage the clock as a quarterback, especially if you think about going into the NFL next season. You got to learn how to manage the clock. That's 2. Number 3, Tennessee got one of the worst freaking defenses in college football. I just don't understand it. How does Travis Etienne's brother, Trevor Etienne, has 172 rushing yards on 24 carries and a touchdown, popping at least almost 7 yards a carry against this defense? 7 yards a carry. Yeah. So Tennessee, you better bounce back because that was a win for us. And they were unranked. We were the 11th ranked team in the country. And Florida was unranked. Tennessee offensive line, I think all of them should lose their scholarships. All starting 5. Because Cooper Mays is a 5th-year senior. A 5th-year senior. And you're a center moving the ball before you move. You're moving the ball. You have the ball here, you move it, and you bring it back. That's a false start. You should know that. And the one thing you say as an offensive lineman, the one slogan that I say on every live stream that I do, you don't move until the ball move. I do not care if they saying if the quarterback's saying a hard count. If you a center and that ball didn't move, you don't move, and vice versa for a defensive line. And you're playing defensive tackle, and you're right over the ball, and you still move because of a quarterback, and you don't see the ball move. You don't move until the ball move. You learn it in Pop Warner. You learn it in junior high. You learn it in high school. You learn it in college. You don't move until the ball move. Why are you moving when you're literally right in front of the football? Yeah. Same thing for the Las Vegas Raiders too, because Josh Allen did that shit too. Hard count. And here goes Bilal Nichols jumping over the football when you're literally like this on the football. And you're jumping. This is the football and this is me. The ball don't move, but you want to move. Like, come on, man. Just the simple stuff. It's so simple that gets me so tedious about this. It's the smaller things. I don't care if you hold it somebody. I don't care if you try to protect your quarterback after the snap, but you don't move until the ball is moved. I'm just had to rest my case on that one. I just had to get that off my chest. That I've been holding on to since Saturday. So I had to get that off my chest for Tennessee. But let's get into the last 2 topics of this here. Saints, Carolina. Now, we all know that this is Bryce Young's first Monday Night Football. Derek Carr, first Monday Night Football since leaving the Las Vegas Raiders and coming to New Orleans. Now, we know that, Carolina's 0-1. Saints get their win over the Titans last week in a 1-point lead. Matchup predictor, they do have the New Orleans Saints 61.7% as the winners of this game. So what they have for the injury report, Kyle Phillips, inactive. A.T. Perry, a wide receiver, inactive. Nick Savarian, he's a offensive tackle. He's going to be inactive. Keandre Miller, running back, inactive. And Kurt Merritt, wide receiver, he's going to be inactive for the New Orleans Saints. For the Carolina Panthers, you got Nash Jensen, DJ Johnson, David Sharp, Sam Webb. Sam Webb, a former Las Vegas Raider that the Carolina Panthers picked off the practice squad off of waivers. And Rasheem Blackshear is all inactive tonight for the Carolina Panthers. How does this matchup go? And who you have winning, Mac, in this game?
This game literally is on the shoulders of the Saints defense. The Saints defense is what's going to have to win this game, hands down. Like, you want to beat the Panthers? Well, Saints defense is going to have to do it. Like, Carr should only have to put up 21 points, honestly. This is a rookie quarterback. He's still going to make rookie mistakes, but Like you said, if the defense plays, you know what I mean, good football, you play sound, you know what I mean, cover your gaps on the line, you know, linebackers stay back, don't get lazy, you know, safeties don't bite. Like simple things. You stay home, do your job. And I feel like the Saints defense is what's going to win this game. But Saints defense don't. I can see Bryce Young throwing for two touchdowns, getting about 225 passing yards, and probably might have about 35 to 40 rushing.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm taking the New Orleans Saints on the road. I'm taking them. I like what the Carolina Panthers have on offense. I like their defense as well, but I think it's just a little bit too much more firepower on both sides of the ball for the New Orleans Saints. Do I think this is going to be a blowout? No. Will I think this will be a competitive game because it's an NFC South game? Absolutely. It's going to be a competitive game, and they're going to be in Carolina. So Carolina's getting their first primetime game, in their season.
They pumped. I can tell you now, I lived in North Carolina for a few years. I went to a Carolina Panthers-Ravens game, and when I tell you that motherfucking place gets electric, yeah, them people down in North Carolina, they love football.
Yeah. Carolina's kind of like an underrated state in itself for football. People say, it's all the best football is played in Texas. No, there's a lot of football being done in Carolina now. Do not underestimate them talented players from Carolina. They come out and they ball out. So
I'm a Maryland guy, okay? I'm a Maryland guy. I love pretty much most of my life in Baltimore. But I'd have to disagree. I'd say Louisiana.
Louisiana's another underrated
that fucking state. That state pumped out some Hall of Famers. Okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna go a little bit in the 20s for this game. I'm gonna go 27-24 Saints over the Panthers. 27-24. And last but not least, we're gonna go to, of course, Browns and Steelers preview. Now, Mac, I know this is the AFC South. I mean, AFC North. AFC North. I'm wrong. AFC North matchup. Y'all just beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, and I want you to break this down for me, man, because you know the North better than me. You know the North better than me.
Absolutely. You got two teams that have good defenses. One defense is playing great. Okay. Steelers offense, not so much high-powered. They're not exactly playing gel football, and they need to get fucking gelling. All right, remember the old commercial? You gelling, I'm gelling. You gelling, we gelling. Yeah. Okay, we need to get fucking gelling. Okay. So seriously, if the Steelers can get some gelling down and they can get on the same page and they start going, it's 100% winnable. Najee Harris, you feed that monster, you get in the play action, and you bait, then blitz and throw it right over their heads. I think that's a good game plan for the Steelers. Now, on the other hand, all right, you got the same problem, right? Can Deshaun Watson and the rest of his offense be productive versus the Steelers defense? Now, from the last few weeks, it's been up and down a little bit with that defense, but that's the whole thing. It's the beginning of the season. It's growing pains. The offense hasn't helped much. So when your defense is out on the field the majority of the game, they're going to play tired. It's gonna be a long day.
Right.
So being a division game, being that it's nighttime, I feel like it's going to be a run heavy game on both sides. It's going to be kind of 3 and out, touchdown, 3 and out, field goal, 3 and out, touchdown, 3 and out, field goal, 3 and out. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go like that. There's probably only going to be 4 or 5 possessions where it's actually scores. So I actually think it's going to be lower. I think it's going to be like 14-17.
Okay. So,
I think the defense would play a lot in this. If Minkah Fitzpatrick is healthy and playing, I see him having a big role in the game.
Okay, so Minkah Fitzpatrick is a dog. I do like him, but I think the Browns and Steelers going to be a game to watch as well, which I'll be, simulcast it and, had the scoreboard up while I do the Saints and the Panthers game. I just want to do the Saints game because I want to see Derek Carr, unfortunately. But Browns and Steelers game is going to be a great game. Now,
personally, as a Ravens fan now, I can say this, right? I want to see the Browns fucking lose because they have everybody in our division with losses, and we're the only undefeated team. That makes it beautiful for me.
But even if the Steelers win, that doesn't change. Does that change anything if the Steelers win this game?
No, not for us.
Or if the Steelers lose this game, would that change anything for y'all too?
Well, yeah, then both us and the Browns will have back-to-back wins.
Okay. That makes sense. What's the word on Amari Cooper? Let me see if he's on the injury report, because that's a good question there. That is a good question about him. So let's see what's the injury report for this game tonight, and let's look at the full injury report for the Cleveland Browns. Let me just go to it. Okay, so Cleveland, I do not see Amari Cooper on this list for the Cleveland Browns, but I do see Luke Weiper, Isaiah McGuire, Ronnie Hickman, Shakai Ika, Jack Copeland. That's a tough one. He's going to be on injury reserve. Anthony Schwartz, another wide receiver that's on the injury reserve. Michael Woods II, he's out. Drew Forbes, Jakeem Grant Sr., we all know that he's out. Jacob Phillips, Isaiah Thomas, and Thomas Graham Jr. is everybody on the Cleveland Browns. So I don't see Amari Cooper on the injury report for this game. And for the Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's on the injury report?
That's where I'm going to now. I'm scrolling down to the injury report for them right now. So they got Anthony McFarland. He's on the injury. Deontay Johnson is on the injury reserve. Cameron Hayward's on the injury reserve. Chappelle Russell's on the injury reserve. Alfonso Graham, Corey Trice Jr., and Rennell Went is on there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players on all injury reserve. And it seems like nobody else, as far as when it comes to inactives, I don't really see anybody else. So
Hayward. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a big loss.
Yeah, Cameron Hayward is a big loss. I can say that. That's definitely a big loss for them when it comes to that. But Juwan Thornhill and Amari Cooper are both active. Yeah, they're active, right? Yeah, they're active. So they're definitely not on here. But you have a low scoring game for this prediction, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what would be your final score for a low prediction score?
I said 14-17.
14-17? Mm-hmm. And you picking the Steelers to win that, right?
So I want the Steelers to win, but I think the Browns are going to win.
Okay, so I'm going to pick the Steelers. I think the Steelers bounced back from last week. I think it's bounced back from a good 49ers team that they played, and I'm gonna take the Steelers. I'm gonna take it like at least like 20-17, but it's still gonna be defensive. But 20-17, I think it's gonna be back and forth. It's gonna be a lot of field goals made, probably one touchdown each, but it's gonna be more field goals than anything. So I'm saying 2017 Steelers here. So before we head out of here, y'all, because I am doing a play-by-play at 7:15.
So I will say
final thoughts you want to talk about before we head out of here.
If the Browns win, they win with 28 or more points. The Browns don't win. If the Browns win, I think they scored 28 points or more. If they lose, it's because they only scored 14 or under. So I'm like those are my two. Like, if the Browns win, the only way I can see them win is if they like that offense keeps pumping down the field.
Okay. So what oh yeah, what is the status on OBJ? Didn't he get he injured his ankle or something?
Yeah, he just what I mean, he got a little tweak in it. He's doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean the whole thing is like he'll practice Thursday, he'll practice Friday, and then he'll be set for Saturday. Okay, no problem with that. Listen, we getting Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers back from concussion protocol this week. That's going to be big for us, going into Sunday Night Football. We need both of those receivers on the field for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the offensive line got to play better because we're not opening up shit for Josh Jacobs right now. And like I said on my podcast, on Nothing But Raiders podcast, I stated this. It's like the Raiders are and vice versa.
We had a good offensive line against when we were running the football last year, but we couldn't block a soul when it comes to passing. But now we can keep Jimmy Garoppolo upright, and now we can't run the football. So it's just weird. But 49er faithful, he did get cleared. The NFL did clear him for all concussion protocol, so he is good to go. I think it's still questionable for Jacoby Myers, but if he end up passing the protocol by the end of the week, then he will be a go as well. So, he passed all the tests, so Devontae Adams is able to go against Pittsburgh on Sunday night. So, with that being said, y'all, I really don't have too many final thoughts. I thought it was a great week 2 of NFL football. You know, Ravens got they win, Raiders got they loss. So I mean, hey, shout out to James No Mercy Sports for his Giants getting the win. Shout out to Boog for the Dolphins getting their win, because I'm the only one in the group chat that didn't get a win this week. So hey, it's cool, because my fantasy leagues are doing just fine. My fantasy leagues are doing just fine, but it's all good.
Oh man, I got back-to-back losses.
You got back-to-back losses?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, Maggie. And you had a good spot in the draft. You had a good spot.
I had a good spot. I'm the third person from last.
Look at the team. Your team was fire, bro.
Yeah, Kittle ain't shit. Jacobs ain't shit. Tua ain't shit.
Tua played good the last 2 weeks. What you
mean?
He
didn't even get 20 points this week.
Let's look at that. Let's take a look at Tua this week.
No, he's on my team. I took Lamar Jackson off and put him in, thinking he was going to give me 20 points, and Lamar Jackson got 20 fucking points.
Ain't that always a bitch, though? That never
13 points. He got 13.26.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. But the way he was throwing a football yesterday, I thought that could have been different. But hey, who am I to say anything?
And then look at fucking Kittle. Kittle with 6 goddamn points. 6 measly motherfucking points. Like even Odell got 6 fucking points. Like, come on, bro. The fuck?
Yo,
McPherson, Cincinnati's kicker got me 6 points.
Yo, hey, listen. You might start going 2 and might win the whole damn thing. You just never know. You might be like the Cincinnati Bengals and win the whole damn thing after a 0-2 start. But that is it for today, y'all. That is it for today. Hopefully, I could get home in time and do these at the same time, 5:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hopefully, I can do it. If you need fantasy help, I got you. LOL winners over here. Anthony Price got a cheating ass league though, because he got like defensive players on his league instead of just a whole total defense. You could pick defensive players too, like D-backs, linebackers, and shit like that.
See that okay, but that would be a lot easier than just picking a whole defense. That one team one day, motherfucker, you have 3 picks. The next week, that motherfucker gives up 4 touchdowns.
That's true. I got Nick Bosa and Chris Jones. I got Nick Bosa and Chris Jones in his league. So I mean, they did wonders for me. But on your league, I'm winning too. It doesn't matter. I'm 2-0 in my league. I think I'm 1-1 in the D-Hop Nation League, but NBR Podcast League, I'm 2-0. So yeah, even with Trevor Lawrence didn't score 10 points in that time, and I still won the league. I still won this week. It doesn't matter with Trevor Lawrence not even getting 10 points as my quarterback. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. Week 2 is in the books. After tonight, we will definitely get into week 3, get into those picks and everything of that nature. Hopefully, we could do it. Hopefully, if I could get home on time, probably on Friday, because Wednesday I have a family event to do after work. My aunt's birthday. She's having a birthday dinner, so I will not be able to be on for Wednesday. But Friday, if I can get off on time on Friday, they don't have me on bus duty with these goddamn kids, and these buses are showing up at 4:00, knowing they got up at 3:00. Yeah, I could be home in time and do the Friday show instead of the Wednesday show. But I will see y'all all at 7:15 for the live play-by-play and reactions for the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Mac, enjoy your win, and see y'all next week as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show, and we'll be back for some more stuff on Friday. Will not be a Wednesday show, but it will be a Friday show. So make sure y'all be here for that, and make sure y'all see y'all in the next couple of minutes. The next 15 minutes or so. But we out of here, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings, and have a good night, and I'll see y'all later.
This episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience best events in town, all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets.